Hello everybody and welcome back to my end of the video making. We're going to have a doubles battle here against our trainer May, who has a Trinitar, Garchomp, Hitmontop, and Gardevoir, against my Whimsicott, Terrakion, Salamence, and Sylveon. I really wanted to show you this match because even though I lose, it demonstrates two very good things in battle. One is making sure you do very good things on the turns that you have the option to do so with, and it shows you what not to do as a lead. So, with that, let's jump right into this match. Now, I will say off the bat that my leads and my opening moves were just absolutely terrible for this. They bring out Hitmontop and Gardevoir, and I bring out my Terrakion and Whimsicott. And it traces the Justifies, so no Dark-type moves onto Gardevoir, hopefully. And the Intimidate comes off, bringing my Terrakion down to -1. And this first turn, Gardevoir is going to use this Mega Evolution, really giving me some threatening offensive power. So I just protect this first turn so I don't get any damage off. And I should have protected this first turn with Whimsicott as well, but in any case, Flinch comes out from the Fake Out onto Whimsicott, and Hyper Voice is just going to do a bunch of damage. It doesn't knock it out though. And I should have predicted this, which is wrong move number 2 for me. I use Wide Guard, and I get the beat up for the +3 attack onto Terrakion. And thanks to his typing and my Whimsicott's ridiculously low attack points, I get only 5 damage off on myself. So it looks like I have a good chance to do something here, but I mistakenly choose Rock Slide, which is blocked by that Wide Guard. And this Hyper Voice comes out and just obliterates my first 2 Pokemon. So, 2 turns into the battle and I'm down 2-4, and I have not gotten any damage off on my opponents. So this is an example of what not to do when battling right from the get-go. So I'm forced to bring up my last 2 Pokemon, my Sylveon and my Salamence. Intimidate coming out onto the Hitmontop and the Gardevoir. And just going to withdraw Hitmontop, thinking that I'm going to use a Flying type attack into that spot. Bring out the Trinitar to hopefully wall that. But I know that if I'm going to try and have any chance of winning this battle, I'm going to need to target down that Gardevoir and get rid of his Hyper Voice. So I'm going to Mega this turn, and I use Double Edge into this Gardevoir. Now I'm jolly max special attack, max attack and max speed, so that has no problem knocking out that Mega Gardevoir with that low defense and HP. And now Hyper Voice comes out with only a single target this time, so it does the full damage on that Trinitar, and it's super effective, bringing it down to just under 40% total hit points. And it brings out that Hitmontop once again, trying to get that Intimidate off onto my Salamence, bringing it down to -1 attack. It's going to Fake Out this turn. Now what I did this turn was I used Hyper Voice and Earthquake for a couple of reasons. One, I knew he was going to Fake Out my Pokemon, I didn't know which one, but if I, say, use a single target attack and I miss targeting that Trinitar, I can take a Stone Edge or a Rock Slide from that, and I just did not want that to happen. So Earthquake does a bit of damage to Sylveon, but it's worth it because it gets the knockout. And my Sylveon is trained to take on physical attacks. And her last Pokemon is Garchomp there. Now it uses Wide Guard to get rid of the damage from Hyper Voice, but I use Double Edge onto this Hitmontop because I don't want that to happen next turn. So Hitmontop goes down there thanks to the super effective damage, but it takes a lot of recoil. And Garchomp's going to smartly target my Salamence because it's slower than my Salamence is, but within range to knock it out. So it's going to survive this Hyper Voice here, and it's going to be a 1-on-1 versus Garchomp. Now I did not expect this move from the Garchomp, but it's a very good move for it to have in retrospect because of the typing. Iron Head does bring it down to a knockout, and I did do the calculations later with 94 hit points on my Sylveon and assuming that it's a standard run on a guard chomp with Iron Head, it did have a 60% chance to knock me out, but it did have that 40% chance to survive. So it did come down to a reasonably moderate chance of a damage roll there for who wins. But in any case, after that lead that I had, which was just abysmal, I had to play to my win conditions, and I stuck to that pretty well. So hopefully you learned a couple things from this battle. One, what not to do when you start out, and two, how to come back from a pretty bad position in the first place. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.